Now, you wouldn't take a brand new car and put it in a demolition derby, or go down a country road and try to knock down mailboxes. That's silly. But people do this sort of thing with their shears all the time. I see this daily, and I was, oh my goodness, why would people do this? They obviously don't know that it's going to damage. In the How They're Made section, I explained how a very steep angle, very, very, very fragile, because there's not much meat and potatoes, so to speak, on that cutting edge. So you have to really baby these things. Anything that comes in contact with that cutting edge has the potential to damage your edge. First time, no grace period. If these things were made out of rubber, we wouldn't have this problem, but they're not. They're steel. They're very, very steep. They're very, very sharp. And if it's not done right, and you leave them open, something touches that. A comb, a ring, another pair of shears, anything. So here's what we do. Never, never, never lay them down and then the thing's open like that. Never ever lay them down open. Because if you lay them down and then you take something else, a comb, ring, anything, and you lay that on top of it, you have the potential, bam, to ding right in between where the blades are. You'll have a ding. Now, in a good light, well-lighted room, like most salons are under your light, because you need a lot of light to show on that hair to be able to cut it. But with scissors, you're not going to be able to see this. With hair cutting shears, if you get a dark colored background and in a subdued lighted room and get under a manicure light and look straight down on that blade, rock it back and forth and then up and down like that, if there's a ding in the blade, it'll show it to you. But in this kind of lighting, it'd have to be really bad before you'd even see it. Okay, so it's very, very important. So always, 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 when you're over here cutting, when you go to lay these things down, take your thumb out, take your fingers out on the way to the table or your counter, workstation, and make sure they're completely closed and lay them down. Now also, lay them down on something soft. You lay them down on that hard counter and it ding, 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 and if it should happen sometime, it'd be open just a little bit and you hit on that one corner, then you're going to have a ding in the middle. Next time it's up here, next time it's down there, and all of a sudden the blade, the whole length of the blade is dinged up. And you think, well, darn, they don't cut good anymore. Well, you put your car in a demolition derby here, so to speak. Okay, so that's very, very important to do that. So tension is very, very important, and WD-40 is very important. And don't lay them down. Lay them on something soft. A computer mouse pad works very nicely. A fluffed up towel works good. Now there's a danger in putting them on a towel. One of my girls, I got her laying down on a towel like this. They covered up pretty. She didn't cover them up, but she went to the shampoo bowl and shampooed her lady. And you know that towel is very, very wet. She threw it down, and it kind of landed like here. Didn't cover the shears, but the one that had on the table was dry. This one's wet. She grabbed a hold of this one and pulled it off, and her shears hit the floor. Boom! Got a ding in it. And by the way, this same stylist, she would always sharpen her shears and it wouldn't hold up for her. And she called me and we sat down and talked about different things, that cutting into rings and combs, laying down a hard counter, and different things. Anytime you lay them down or anytime you use them, you close them, you should be watching to see if there's something could potentially damage your blades. Okay, well, what happened to her, she said she would do a lot of scissor over comb, and she was holding her comb there, and as she kept bumping into the comb, and then she found in the end of her combs, a bunch of nick marks in her comb, and that caused a bunch of damage. So the more you baby your shears, and it doesn't matter if you've got a real cheap shear or you got one that costs you mega bucks, you need to baby these things if you want them to last. And who wants to go to work every day when you got to really work that shear, and then when you get done, you're so tired and you don't know why. All you want to do is just go lay down someplace. You're just tired. Well, a shear that's loose, a shear that's dull, all of these things will come into play when you get off into work at the end of the day. So it's very important. Take care of your shears. Lay them down someplace, clean them regularly, and watch that tension. Very, very important.